Python while loop.
In this demonstration, we are discussing the use of while loop in our Python coding. So here we have made I is equal to 3, I has been initialized with 3, while I is greater than 0 colon. So whenever we are giving colon, then the next line will be coming with the indentation. That means this line is within the while block. We are printing the value of I and also decreasing the value of I by 1 here. So let us go for the execution. You can find that 3, 2, 1 they are getting printed, because when the value of I will become 1, so 1 is greater than 0 condition is true, so print I, 1 is getting printed. Now 1 is getting decreased by 1, so it will become 0, so I will have the value 0. So 0 greater than 0, the condition is false, so that's why it is coming out from the while loop. So let us go for while else structure. So while I less than 10, print I and then I plus equal to 1. That means when the value of I is not equal to 10, below 10, that means when the I is less than 10, then the I will get printed, and each and every time the I will be increased by 1 here. And when this loop will get terminated, then you are going to print that displayed successfully. So let us go for the execution. Say at first I'm just initializing this I with the value say 5 here. So now see the 5 is getting printed. So 5 has got increased to 6. 6 is less than 10. So 6 has got printed. Similarly 7, 8 and 9 has got printed. 9 has been increased by 1. So it has become 10. So 10 less than 10, the condition is false. So control will be coming to the else part and displayed successfully. The message is getting printed here. So in this way you can find that how this respective while with else structure is there. The blocks are getting printed accordingly, are getting executed accordingly. Let us go for this pattern printing. These are the very common problems in our exams. So n will be taken from the keyboard as input, that is the number of layers. If the number of layer is equal to 6, that means here we'll be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 number of layers. Also you can consider 6 is the number of heights here. So to print this particular pattern, here you will be having some blank characters and then some asterisk symbols will get printed. But if I write only the blank characters, it will be not easy for us to count that how many blank characters are there. So in place of blank, we have written here dot. So in the coding also, you can replace this dot by blank if I want to get the final pattern here. So here we have made one tracing table. This is known as tracing table, where we are trying to trace the logic of our code. So for n is equal to 6, this is the respective pattern to be printed. So I is the layer number or the height number. It is ranging from 1 to 6. And here we are counting for each and every layer. We are counting the number of blanks and the number of stars in this particular tracing table. So here we are having 5 blank spaces and then 1 star. So we have written 5 and 1. Here we are getting 4 blank spaces and then 3 stars. So we have written this 4 and 3. Here we are getting no blank spaces, but here we are having 11 stars. So 0 number of blank spaces and 11 number of stars or asterisk symbols are going to get printed. So from here we are supposed to get the logic for blank and logic for the asterisk symbol. So what will be the logic for blank here? You can find that I is increasing and the blank is decreasing. So if you subtract this I from some fixed quantity, let it be n is equal to 6. So if you subtract this I from this 6, then obviously when the I will be increasing, the difference value will be decreasing. So whenever you are finding some logic that is something is increasing and another one is decreasing, then obviously the value, the variable which is increasing should be subtracted from some fixed quantity, so that when the variable will be increasing, the difference value will be decreasing. So that's why 6 minus 1 is 5, 6 minus 2 is 4, 6 minus 3 is 3, and 6 minus 6 is 0. So here the respective logic for the blank will be n minus I. Next one, I is increasing by 1, star is also increasing but by 2. So what we shall do, if I is 1, star is equal to 1, I is 2, number of star will be 3, I is equal to 5, number of star is equal to 9. So we think that here the logic will be 2 star I minus 1, because 2 into 1 2 minus 1 is 1, 2 into 3 is 6 minus 1 is 5, 2 into 6 is 12 minus 1 is 11 here. So here the respective logic will be 2 star I minus 1. So we have got the logic. Now we are going to implement it here. So n is equal to int input. Please enter the number of layers and then I is equal to 1 we have put, and when this value of I is less than equal to n, that means I will be ranging from 1 to 6 if the value of n is equal to 6 given. So here we have put that one everything in the while loop construct. So j is equal to 1, j we are considering another loop control variable, so j will be equal to 1, and while j is less than, so now what will happen, for each and every layer we will be printing a certain number of blank characters and then certain number of asterisk symbols, then we shall go for the continuity break. So that will be the skeleton of our program. So at first we are going to print some blank characters and then we are going to print some asterisk symbols. So how many blank characters we are having? We are having n minus I number of blank characters. So here we are putting this one as n minus 1, n minus I. So j is equal to 1, j less than equal to n minus I, print. Here we are printing this dot, and end is equal to double quote means here we are just omitting the trailing new line character. So all these dots will get printed in the same line. So now again we are making this j is equal to 1 and j is less than equal to, so here we are putting this star logic, that is a 2 star I minus 1. So we are putting this logic here, and then print star, and continuity will be there, all these stars will get printed in the same row. So that's why end is equal to double quote. So this is a print which will break the continuity. So we'll be printing certain number of dots, certain number of stars, so the next dot will be coming from the next line. So that's why to break the continuity, here we are putting another print statement. So print function has been called here. So now let me go for the execution. We can find that if we give the value as 6, I'm getting this pattern here. So I think, so I should make this one 2 star I minus 1. I should go for I increase. So that statement is missing. So let us go for this I increase. So I is equal to I plus 1. So here this I has to be increased by 1, and also let us put the same in our while. So what we shall do is that, so j is equal to j plus 1. So that statement is required, otherwise my program will fall in an infinite loop. J is equal to j plus 1 here. So let us go for the execution. So here we are putting the value of n is equal to 6. So we are getting this pattern. We're getting this pattern. So now if you put a different value for n here, if I put the value of n is equal to 11, we're getting the pattern like this. You can easily fill that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. So here we're getting this 11 number of layers, and the pattern is getting printed accordingly. So after writing any code, you should test your code with the multiple different values for inputs. So let me check again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, we are having the 9 layers. So each and every layer will be having this preceding dots and then start. So now in place of dot, if you put a blank character, then the pattern will be looking like this. And the pattern will be looking like this in this way. Okay, now let us go for the another example. So I want to print this pattern like this. So n is equal to 11, always the value of n should be odd here. So m is the middle point, I might be requiring it. So let us at first go for the pattern. So this is the pattern we are going to print. So in the tracing table we have written I is ranging from 1 to 11 because 11 has been given, and 11 must be odd, otherwise this pattern will not have the symmetry if we have the n is equal to even number. So pattern will not be having the symmetry. So now we are counting the number of dots and the stars, you know. So similarly whatever we did earlier, so just consider this row arbitrarily. So we are having 4 dots and 3 stars. So we have written that one as 4 dots and 3 stars. In this way we have filled up this dot column and the star column. So now let us go for the logic derivation. You know that I is increasing throughout. It is ranging from 1 to 11. But here this dot is at first increasing, then it is decreasing. So I cannot expect that same formula will work for the both hubs. So that's why we are going for a separate formula for this respective logic for this dot printing in the first hub and in the lower hub separately. So how to do that one? Let us go for the calculations here. So if it is 1, then it is 0. If it is 2, then it is 1. If it is 6, then it is 5. So it should be I minus 1. Okay, now come to this point. If it is 7, it is 4. If it is 8, it is 3. if it is 9, it is 2. So that means I should subtract this I from some fixed quantity, so that when the value of I will be increasing, the difference value will be decreasing here. So here we are having this I n is equal to 11. So 11 minus 7, 4, 11 minus 8, 3, 11 minus 10, 1, 11 minus 11 is 0 here. So here the logic will be n minus I. Next one is that for this particular n is equal to 11, my middle point is the middle layer is the 6th layer. So how to get 6 here? So that is very simple. 11 plus 1, 12 by 2 is equal to 6. So that's why we are calculating another variable. So the variable is getting initialized with 6 when the value of n is equal to 11. M stands for the middlemost layer. So now let us go for the calculation, the logic derivation for this star. So these expressions, whatever you are going to derive here, can contain I, can contain n, and also can contain m here. So let us go for this derivation. So here you can find that I is increasing by 1 and star is decreasing by 2. So that means when the I is there, it must be subtracted from this fixed quantity, so that difference value will be decreasing when the value of I will be increasing. So let us go for the derivation. So what is the logic we are finding? Just consider here. So 6 minus 1, that is a 5, 5 into 2, 5 into 2, that is 10, plus 1, that is 11. So I'm going to give you two clues. Clue number 1, when I is increasing, star is decreasing, that means the I has to be subtracted from some fixed quantity, so that when the value of I will be increasing, the difference value will be decreasing. That is our point number 1. Point number 2 here is that here you can find that I is increasing by 1, but the star is decreasing by 2, so the difference value has to be multiplied by 2, so that the difference will get decreased by the factor of 2. So 6 minus 1, 5 into 2, 10 plus 1, 11. 6 minus 4 is 2 into 2, 4 plus 1, 5. 6 minus 6 is 0 into 2, 0 plus 1, 1. So here the formula will be 2 star. Here the formula will be 2 star m minus I plus 1. Last in this case, we're having this one, that is this particular case. So if I is 7, star is 2, 3, I is 8, star is 5. So you can see that it is increasing by 1, it is also increasing, but increasing by 2. So 2 multiplication factor will be there. So that is our clue. Okay, now see. So 7 minus 6, 1, 2 into 1, 2 plus 1 is 3. 9 minus 6, what is that? 3 into 2, 6 plus 1, 7. So that's why here the logic will be 2 star I minus m. So 2 star I minus m. So we are going to get here plus 1. So we have got the logic. Now how to implement the same. So let me put this one here. There is a code I'm going to put here. I'm going to update the same. See. So here we have got the logic. Now how to implement it. What we can do, that after reading this value of n, we are calculating the middlemost value. So what is that? N plus 1 whole by 2. Okay. Please enter the odd number of layers. Okay. Next. If I greater than m. Now what is the meaning of I greater than m? Upper half or lower half? I greater than m means it is a lower half. So blanks, number of blank will be equal to, in the lower half, n minus I. We got this one from here, this one, and for this star we are having this formula. So that is our star. So here we are writing S is equal to this formula. Else, so we shall be going for this blank, and blank is equal to I minus 1, and the star will be equal to 2 star m minus I. So 2 star m minus I plus 1. So if I greater than m, there is a blank, there is a star, else there is a blank, there is a star. So in this way I've got this logic. So now how many number of blanks will get printed, dots will get printed, b number of, and how many number of stars will get printed, s number of. So in this way I can easily implement my code. So let me go for a cross check. If I execute this code, if I give the value of 11, then I'm getting this pattern. So here you see we are having this tracing table. This is a tracing table we are having, and there is a respective implementation. You can easily find that how this code has got implemented. So if I give the value say 13, I'm getting the pattern like this. Let me count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. Yes, we're getting this 13 number of layers here. Obviously the layer number will be starting from 1 to 13 in this fashion. So let me go for the another execution. If I make this one as 7, we're getting this pattern like this. Okay, so if user gives the event value for this n, then what will happen? The pattern will not have the respective symmetry here. Now I'm going to give you one example, one practice example here, which has to be solved by you. So this is a practice work. We're having a program to display a pattern using loops. So here the pattern is given, and here also prepared this tracing table. And here you are supposed to derive the logic, and then the respective logic has to be implemented using Python coding. So I'm giving this particular assignment as a practice work for your better understanding and for your better performance. So please solve this problem. I've made the problem partially done in the planning phase, and now implement it using the Python code. And similar type of code already we have written, so you are supposed to check that one from this example. So in this particular demonstration, we have discussed how to use the while loop in our Python code. Thanks for watching this video.